Reporting to you live from Monmouth Outlook University News. The health segment that I'm going to be talking about today is secondhand smoke exposure. The article that I chose was exposure to secondhand smoke among non-smokers. Secondhand smoke is the inhalation of smoke by someone other than the intended active smoker, which can cause many issues in adults and children as well. From 1988 to 2014, the exposure to secondhand smoke has decreased, but since then it has not changed at all, and the efforts to make the exposure go down have not been improving. Exposure to secondhand smoke from burning tobacco products can cause sudden infant death syndrome, respiratory infections, ear infections, and asthma attacks in infants. In adults, it can cause coronary heart disease, strokes, and lung cancer. In addition to this, there is no risk-free level of secondhand smoke exposure. Therefore, there is no way to avoid these risks as long as you are surrounding yourself with people who are smoking. Who should be concerned? This is a big concern for people who are in college because a lot of times there's smoking at parties, whether it's inside or outside. In addition, a lot of college students live in houses without parents, and sometimes students will smoke in their houses, which creates a greater risk of secondhand smoke exposure. In fact, the prevalence of this issue has remained highest among children 3 to 11, non-Hispanic blacks, people who live in poverty, and people who have lived with or currently live with people who smoke inside the house, as well as people who live in rentals, which are where most college students reside. This is also a concern for pregnant women because of the effects that it can have on their children. Why should they be concerned? This is important to be concerned because many people don't realize the health effects that secondhand smoke exposure can cause. A lot of times people think that just because you're not actually being the active smoker, that you are not being affected. That is anything but true. The effects of secondhand smoke are extremely high and are extremely common as well. In order to improve the problem, public health workers are continuing to implement comprehensive smoke-free laws in workplaces and public places, implementing smoke-free home and vehicle laws, and creating more education programs about the effects of secondhand smoke. As for preventing the problem for individuals, For the individual being's effects, it is important to take notice of your surroundings. If someone is smoking inside the house, tell them to leave and not smoke inside the house, or leave the premises as you please. What things should be kept in mind when evaluating the risk of the health problems is that number 1, how often am I exposed to people smoking inside of a small area? Number 2, does anyone I live with smoke inside the house? And lastly, number 3, do I remove myself from the area when everyone around me is smoking? If you have answered these questions and you realize that you are around a lot of people who are smoking, it is important to evaluate your health risks and go to the doctor to make sure that this is not affecting you, and to improve it, and to improve yourself, to improve your actions, and to get better, and to make sure that you're not surrounding yourself with these people who are smoking inside small areas or smoking at all. In conclusion, you should always remember that just because you aren't doing it doesn't mean that it isn't affecting you. Thank you for watching Monmouth Outlook, and we'll see you soon.